away we go. Oh, golden hour. Okay, I got just the shot we're gonna do here. Just the shot right there, right there. Okay. Where's that sun? It's just disappeared. Okay. Pause. Photo mode. Watch this. So, we will go to orbit free. We'll go to free cam. Now, as far as height goes, we're going to go real high with this one just to experiment a little bit. Gets us a good view of everything, right? Like, almost like we're up in a tree. See? And we're up above the trees, right? So we got this tree up here. Why don't we just like position ourselves up on a branch? Oh, we can't. We got to be closer. Okay. Well, just be careful. Don't want to fall out of the tree. Get as high as you can. I think they use Arthur as a pivot point or something. So wherever he is, I lost him. There's this horse. Where's Arthur? Oh, there's Arthur. Okay. Okay, here. We go right above him. Go as high as we can. Okay. And then a little bit over. Well, we'll go a little lower, obviously, because it's not going to let us. We just want to clear these trees. We don't want the tree in the shot. Maybe a little bit, but it's kind of exposing. Like the graphics aren't as good up close, you know? So what you want to do is just move past a little bit. Kind of get that out of the view. Now, we're going to switch the lens. Sorry, I almost forgot. Yeah, you got to switch the lens. Okay. If you want good distance shots, then you want to use a telephoto lens. That's this one. It's the furthest zoomed in. See up in the top right corner, it says 75 millimeter. That is the deepest lens. So what you want to do is back it up. This is for landscape photos, right? Like you're using this for long shots. Now, if you want a landscape photo, what you need to do is go back to the widest lens you can find. Now, you see how wide that is? Now I'm getting mountains. I'm getting everything, right? Everything. Actually, what we're going to do, I'm going to move Arthur forward a little bit here. And then right about there. Okay, perfect. Photo mode. Free zoom. Free cam. Free cam, yeah. There we go. Okay, and we're going to go back to the smallest lens we got, 16 millimeter. Okay, now I think that's the shot. You see how we got a little bit of mountain in there on the left side, a little bit of horseshoe overlook? That's good because it shows a little bit of something close while you have a whole lot of everything far. So, there you go. You see that? I think that's the shot. Yeah, it doesn't need any roll. The landscape's nice and straight. Furthest back lens, all that's looking good. We're going to move to the advanced settings. Now the focus distance, you want that to be really, 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 really far. Because the further your focus distance is, the more clear things that are far away are going to come in. Basically everything will come in far, 50 meters and further. So that's quite a good thing considering basically everything in this shot is pretty far away. It's decently far to the point where it's not really, you know. Oh, anyway, sorry. I just want to actually adjust I want to pan it a little bit. I'm going to go back to basic. I just want to aim it down a little bit like that. A little bit less. A little bit less sky. A little bit more ground. There. Oh, no. A little bit more. There you go. Aiming at the ground, kind of. See, that looks good. See how you got that little trail coming out of there? Creates a bit of mystery both ways. It's like, oh, what's to the right? What's coming towards us? It's kind of cool, right? So we got a really good shot. We got the furthest back lens. We go to the advanced settings. We got the blur strength, the focus distance is maximum. Now blur strength, you want to lower this. Forget about blur. Blur is to hide graphics. But right now, we're far enough away where that's not going to be affected. Now, if you want to have a little bit of subtle change, like a lot of viewers viewing the photos might not notice this as much, but you will. You just add a little bit of blur strength, just a tiny, tiny bit, and it's subtle, right? Then like when you look up close to things, they're a little bit less jaggy. You know, if you were to like actually take the photo out of the photo viewer and then like zoom in on it, you know, then with that blur, the jaggies are a little less jaggy. Okay, so now you're going to work on exposure. If you look at your sky, it's crazily exposed, like it's super, super bright, right? Now also look at the land down below. Just to show everybody, we're going to increase the exposure, but look at the land while we do it. Look at the trees. You see how exposed that's getting? All the trees, they look wonderful. Now, like if we were doing a telephoto, a zoom lens photo, we could really use that to brighten up a dark spot. But because we're doing a huge picture, what we need to do here is reduce the exposure to a number that is fair to all of the things in the photo. Okay, you want to look at everything. Treat every object like it's your child. Be fair. You know, don't pick favorites. This is a photo. The photo is the favorite, the whole picture. So what you want to do is you want to get it to a level where you can see everything clearly, right? If you're looking up at the sky, you'll notice that that's coming in really good now, you see. So what we want is look at the river. The colors of that river are coming in nice and clear and shiny and bright. That's like the highlight of the photo, the river, and up in the mountains there, okay? So we're going to bring up the brightness. And now I don't want you to be worried, but look down. All the trees, all the dark spots, they're a little bit overly dark. They're underexposed. Now you're bringing your exposure up little by little, little by little. And what you're doing, see if you look up at the sky, it's still showing that nice blue color. It's not like, oh, so bright in your face, nothing like that, right? So look down at the trees, bring it up just a titch more till you like the trees. You want to be able to see them. If they're too dark, then it just looks like a black blob in the photo. You want every detail to pop. That's where having the perfect exposure is where you want to be. So we can still see that nice blue sky. The sun's setting. It's super bright. It's high exposure on the mountain, but low exposure down below, but not too low. You see how you can still see the black. So I think 68, we're at a good level. You want to lock the exposure just so you don't mess that up anymore. Now we're going to add some effects. Okay. Now this is where it gets tricky. Before you touch any sticks, any controls, make sure you observe your contrast level up in the right corner. We're at 4 right now, okay? Because you may want to return to this. You can really go overboard with contrast, and it really sucks when you do. So we're going to lower the contrast first just to show you what little contrast does. What happens is it blends. It makes white and black a lot closer together. So basically everything turns into gray. Everything that's black is lighter. Everything that's white is darker. Just turns everything into gray. As you increase your contrast, black and white become further apart. Now your blacks are more black, your whites are more white. Gray? Where's gray? No gray. It's all gone. It's all gone. Okay. So with an increased contrast, it really does kind of give you a bit of ability to work with that exposure. See, so we have the exposure locked, but we're seeing everything good here at the 4, right? If we bring the contrast up to, let's say, 6, just to 6, okay? Now, we're going to go with R1, we're going to navigate back to the exposure section. We'll unlock exposure with right. Now, we have our up and down. Remember, those adjustments we were making, down was like much darker, high exposure is lighter. See, now what we've done with the contrast is we can still see that nice blue sky, you see more, but all the trees are a little bit darker. So we've separated black and white. Now let's increase it. You notice this time when we increase the exposure, we're not getting a lot of fogginess. What's happening is our shadows are popping. If you look down at the grass, all the little shadows on the trees, boop, the green grass is getting brighter, the shadows are kind of staying the same because black is further away, right? Now what you want to do is increase that exposure just to the point where you can see the trees again. Okay? Now we've gained a lot of exposure doing this. Okay, we can just see the trees. Now let's go back down just one titch, okay? Just so that it darkens the trees a little bit more. And now we're going to lock the exposure again. And we're going to go into the effects again. Now the contrast, we're at 6, remember? So what we're going to do is we're going to actually reduce. We're going to go back down. We just want black to be a little bit less black because it's a bit too much. So bring it down until you're at 5. Now 5, just a hint above where we were, right? Now I think our exposure and our contrast are lining up really nice here. What we want to do is check out the filters now, okay? We have everything all kind of set up for our photo. It's a beautiful photo. Now what we're going to want to do is try out some filters. Okay, so that makes it look real old school, right? Ooh, it's nice if you're into that. Me, myself, no. This, I can't stand. It makes me feel like I just died on Red Dead Redemption because, like, that's basically what you see when you die, is this negative film. Tin type. See, that's kind of nice. The edges, they look a little bit more, like, hard. I don't know. It's like, but the black, everything that's black is really black. The sky, no detail difference, you know? With all that high contrast that we added, we really want to use a filter that does not limit that. This one's not too bad. The sky still looks kind of like effective. Gelatin. We'll have to remember that one. Print. Print is nice. A little bit high on the contrast, though. Cyanotype. Photogravure. Bichromate. I'm sorry if I read these every time. I just, I like to go through them all to kind of make sure that we're observing everything properly. The names are important to, like, the type of photo this is because, I mean, it is. It's what it is, right? Now, this red pass filter, basically what it's doing is it's blocking every color except for red and the way that red comes through. So it makes everything look kind of like fall. Now, if we go here, the yellow pass, that looks like a hot summer day. You know, it adds all that yellow. All the other colors are real low, 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 where yellow is like, hi, I'm here. I'm yellow. That's the color that we usually see the sun at. So it's like, poof, pops. Blue. Now this looks a little more wintry, doesn't it? See, the picture we were just looking at, it's like sunset, kind of yellow, normal. But yeah, we add that blue. And now what's happened is if you look at the river there, you can see the highlights that we were looking at where the sun is crossing the water. It's still very, very bright. It's coming through in a nice yellow fashion, but the blue filter is making the sky pop. You see how it's all blue? It makes it look like the sky is lighting everything. It technically is, but, you know, with the overexposure, it makes it look a little more white than blue. But yeah, blue pass is beautiful, especially for winter photos, or if you want to make any photo look more wintry, blue. 2-strip. Okay, that's pretty cool. It looks like a combined color, the blue and the yellow, or maybe it's something. Or the red and the yellow. Yeah, that's maybe what it looks like. I don't know. Anyway, it looks like it's maybe 2 filters overpassing. A bleach bypass. Ooh, now that looks really cool, but it kills the sky. Post-apocalyptic filter noir. Battlefield. Battlefield's cool, eh? It's all green. It like really looks like a World War II photo. Western. Oh yeah, I took a nice Western photo the other day. It was inside Valentine. It was really nice. Charcoal. Wait, how'd the sky look on that Battlefield in Western? Very plain. Fail. This is just like, oops, messed that photo up. Health tonic. Nice and like fuzzy, you know. Dishonorable. Ugh. Bad guy. Honorable. Good guy. Injured. It's like moving. Whoa. Pause menu. Guarma. Is that really what it looks like in Guarma? Wow. It's crazy. all that sunlight and like whatever, just how he feels sick and all that. Predator mode. Oh, that's cool. I got to get some of that going at night. I think that would actually probably look cool. Eagle eye. Now that is sharp. It adds sharpness, but it really removes a lot of color, which I don't like. That's my like, it's kind of a go-to, but at the same time, sometimes it's not so good for these landscape photos. Really good for telephoto though. Spectator cam. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. It's a little bit more, hey, Deadeye. Oh, wow. Does that ever pop the colors out, eh? Look at the shadows on the trees. Very nice. Drunk. Kill cam. Deadeye core. Health core. Stamina core. Those movements are kind of silly. Weapon wheel. End credits. None. Honestly, I think we're gonna go with none. All those filters, none of them really spoke to me. This is cool. This one. Anyway, we're gonna go back to where it gives you blur. Since we're not using a filter at all, it's fair to use a little bit more blur, just because I think people are used to seeing the photos in this game a little bit less sharp. You know, it's kind of the idea of the Western era, and you know, when you have Western photos, they got to look old. But I don't know. I mean, hey, it's 2020. We're playing a cowboy simulator, sure, but they're giving us all these tools with the camera to actually take good photos. So that's what we're going to do. And that's the photo right there.